just done a little wee in my panties. Oh, I finally got it. Weeks and weeks and weeks, all of my YouTube comments have basically said, I don't want to buy anything until I get this, because this is what I want. And now I have it. Leader class Jetfire. Oh, now I'm in a little bit of a quandary as to what to say about him, because everyone else has had a lot to say about him already. And I'm not going to do the full transformation for two reasons. One, because my good friend Van Hosso, as he would say, he's done a really good and somewhat oddly really detailed, in-depth review on how to turn him from a robot into a plane into a robot. It's 8 years long. It's not his fault, because as I discovered today, it's quite a task. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I've done him 3 times today, and I think the last time I did him while I was talking to Nick Bust Up Bots up on the computer, it's just bloody like it is the Transformers Rubik's Cube. It's just but I'm going to have a little sort of wander through my brain about him. I'm going to make a cup of tea, and then we'll have a little talk about it. Oh, okay, right. Tea. Okay, so rather than try and just regurgitate exactly the same things that all the other people have said about the figure, some of the things that I noticed. Now, from where he sat, actually probably right there, he's bent. And the first time I put him together he wasn't so bad, but the curvature, the curvature down the actual length of the figure, he's bent. He's a banana, which annoys me, because I think it should, but if you pull it, all the panels start to misalign, and it's more at the back than at the front. I mean, it's still amazing. Look at that for a camera shot. Now that's how to make something look cool. I don't think I've had a Transformer that looked anywhere near that cool on camera I don't think I've had one, to be fair. But it's bent, and it's very good, and I know it's kibble-tastic underneath, but we'll get around all of that, because everybody knows all those bits already. But he is bent. One of the things that, because obviously, you know, I've wanted this figure hugely for absolutely ages, one of the things that I really sort of didn't appreciate when I got it was just how big he is. Now, I'm going to sit, I want a figure that everybody's got, so you can all sort of get in my theory with it here. Acid Storm. Now, this just gives you, not many people have done a size comparison, because he is such a large figure, and because I'm not going to go into the transformation itself, he is such an absolutely gargantuan figure that not many people have done sort of good size comparisons, but just look at how big he is. I mean, Acid Storm's not a small figure. He's alright, he's good sized. And when you think of the kind of volume that that Classics mould sells in, got Starscream on the way, by the way, why? Look, I mean, it's, what, how many? 1, 2, at least 2.5 times the length of Acid Storm. So, I mean, that's the thing that I've noticed, number one. That's one of the main things that I wanted to point out. The other thing is, when it's in airplane mode, it's got the, which is great, but look at the table underneath. Look. It's got a red spot. Now, I can't work out what that red spot is supposed to light. At the same time as that happens, you've got the lights that go on inside his head, which I completely get. That's all good. But what's it supposed to, what's that? I mean, when it's in robot mode, that bit's folded up against, it just doesn't seem to do anything, which it confuzzles me, because it's not there's no purpose, there's no reason, and it's really good as well. It's really bright. Look, I mean that would show for miles if you press the button, if it lit up somewhere. So obviously, if someone knows, then enlighten me and please let me know. You've seen all the robot kibble before. I've told you about the fact that he's bent. Everyone seems to want to bend his in here. Can you see? In here, you've got his whiskers there. Everyone seems to bend them back and bend them out of shape, whereas if you bend them forward away from his face, they just fit in much better, which I think is a little odd. This doesn't sit in very well. Mine's a bit skew-whiff. I don't know if it's because I've not transformed him properly or what, but it just doesn't want to sit there. I'm a little disappointed that the legs at the back, it's quite robot faithful, but in plain mode, it's just sort of cheating. But I'm not taking away from it. It is jolly amazing. Right, I've spoken about this bit now. I'm going to turn it off. We're going to put him into robot mode, and we'll have a little natter about that. Okay, bye. Welcome back. Jetfire, robot mode. Didn't take that long. And before anyone moans at me, let me pick you up. I do these bits differently. I think if you're going to have flaps, show your flaps off. Do you hear that, girls? Show us your flaps. Moving on. Dirty. Not an awful lot to say about his robot mode, and I have just realised. Come here. In there. Jetfire's my name. There is the aforementioned light, which isn't in the middle. It is completely pointless and doesn't have one on the other side. So why bother? As long as it's got the one in the head, then I think that's all you kind of need. Bugbears about this. Flappy, 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 flappy. What's that all about? I know it's the thing to do power up Prime. Legs. I didn't have the legs set up properly when I started standing him up, and he just wouldn't do it. And now I've got him doing. Now I've actually worked them out. It's a lot better. I know it's not really show accurate, but it's quite close. And I don't know. Is that an issue for me? I mean, I'm thinking questions as I go along here, but if you're paying 45 quid for a toy, and the toy is the leader class subject from the movie line, is it not? Should you not be able to actually expect that the toy that you're buying is going to be like within near as damn it reminiscent of the actual figure? Now, Optimus Prime, and this is relating to yesterday's very drunk video, which I apologise for my disgusting language on, but Optimus Prime is, for want of like the wheels at the top of his legs that don't tuck in quite properly and that sort of thing, Prime is he's just the movie toy, isn't he? I mean, he's just the same. It's brilliant. Yet Megatron is just a travesty, and while I really, really like Sir Old and Grumpy, do you not think it's a valid point that Megatron should be more like the actual movie? The colours should be more like the movie. And I tell you what, if they bring out a premium Megatron later on, that's going to drive me insane, because I just think that's going to be hugely out of order. He's a bit weak, he doesn't stand very well, but he's really heavy at the same time. If you pick him up, he's quite a weighty beast. Now, by the time you actually stick him onto the back of Optimus as well, he's, yeah, he weighs an awful lot. I mean, I know he's got a battery pack in there and stuff, but there's an awful lot of ratcheting and that sort of thing. Pretty much everything is ratcheted. I'm not going to go through it, A, because he won't bloody stand up afterwards, but he's got some proper clicks going on in his legs. Even the jet engines are ratcheted on the back. The wings get in the way of the jet engines. You have to really put the jet engines out of the way, but then it looks just dumb. And the other thing that I don't like is this. That can go on the back section now, I know, or it can turn into the gun. And by the way, the Gatling gun is upstairs attached to Prime's arm, because even when this guy stood like this guy, it just looks better on Prime, so Prime's going to borrow it for now. But yeah, he's really, really nice. Let's face it, I'm only doing this video as a look what I've got video. But right now I'm going to go and get Optimus, and we're going to have a go at doing some power up Prime loveliness tonight and just have a quick waffle about that. Okay, cheers, bye.